Hi, I'm Vaughn from the Gamers Hub, and I'm here with Carsten Linder and Georg Friedrich. We obviously do interview about Dead Island 2. So I was going to start out with a quite frank question, which was Dead Island did have a reasonably mixed reception upon release, the first one. So what made Yager so eager to work on the sequel?
Well, we still liked it. I mean, we really liked it a lot. We played the first one and we had a lot of fun with it, especially playing it in co-op among the team. And then also there was the thing when we heard doing a zombie game. I never did a zombie game. Most of the people on the team had never done a zombie game, so it was creatively also very interesting. We said like, oh, awesome, let's do a zombie game. That's cool, and let's do it let's do it the Jaeger way, right? Doing it right. And yeah, that's what we did. So it was great. It was a great opportunity. We were all very happy.
So now you've obviously you say done it the Jaeger way, put your own stamp on it, and you moved it from tropical island to California.
Which apparently is not an island. Have you heard that? No one told me. I mean, I'm a German developer. How should I know? You guys could have known.
I should have told you.
Yeah.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, how has that changed the tone of the game by moving it? It's literally from an island to a cordoned off area.
At the beginning, not so much. Actually, when we started doing the game, I mean, we were just coming from Spec Ops, and then we had seen that amazing cinematic trailer of the first one. Do you remember that? There was where this little girl and killed and all very tragic and sad and stuff. When we started building the game, being Jaeger, we just had done Spec Ops The Line. We thought like, oh my god, we need to do like moral decisions and make it really sad. And we were thinking we would make the most sad zombie game ever. And then we started doing that, and we had like very early concept phase, and we had people playing it in multiplayer, and they did not care at all. Basically, the conversations were like, oh yeah, whatever, moral decision, whatever, shoot the girl, and then we go on, and it was like that. I need to loot. It was like, that doesn't work. So we went back to the drawing board and basically said like, hey, what kind of mood could we find that isn't silly, because we don't want to be silly, but is lighthearted and supports what players actually are feeling, to avoid this like kind of ludonarrative dissonance that you otherwise get, when there's a gap between the story and between what players actually feel and do. So we thought we would go more for something like Zombieland, if that makes sense, because that is fun and funny, but at the same time it isn't silly. That's a serious zombie apocalypse. People die. It's like, but the motives of the heroes are cool, and they're kind of outstanding. One wants Twinkies, and the nerd wants to get the girl, and the girls want to get to the amusement park. So it's a second chance for them in that. And we thought like, that's cool. That is something we could use for our heroes. Thinking about, hey, yes, it's a zombie apocalypse, but you're in California. It's nice and beautiful. It's bright and shiny. And you can have lots of fun, and you can do things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to do. Say, yes, there is an amusement park. You can have it all for yourself. Well, and the zombies, but like, say you get them out and accept them, then you can do cool shit. And also our heroes are in a good shape, right? Because they're immune. They cannot be infected. So they're really well prepared to go out and kill zombies like crazy. And that's what they do.
Is that why it's comically gory, bringing that light-hearted stuff?
Yes. But for me, what's very interesting, when I worked before, I worked on a really realistic game with like a realistic, sort of realistic setting, and having violence against humans. It was way less gory, but it felt much more brutal, if that makes sense.
It was very
because violence against zombies, they are made for that. They're like, you're doing something good in killing them, because they're already dead, and you just relieve them from their horrible fate. So basically, yes, that's what they're there for.
And if the tone, what we have right now in the game, is really a bit outstanding from the other zombie games. So it was so important that you have fun while playing the game, to have the second chance, to have this bright and beautiful locations, this place like California, the place, the sun never goes down. It's always beautiful, and that's what we really may want to do outstanding for Dead Island 2. Having a cool time in the game.
Yeah.
And having played it, that's what it's like.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the black.
That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
You haven't really spoken much about the sort of story behind it all.
We will find out that California is not an island. That's the hook. But don't tell anyone. That's like the big reveal at one point. No, in all honesty, the story is not the focus, right? Because it's basically it's mainly about playing together, and you have like narrative. Of course, you have narrative in the world, but also like because of the nature of the game, which is seamless multiplayer, which means whenever you start a game, you will be connected to other players, and on a game world that is open and shared by many players. So that also means that the game is never ending. There's not a point where you reach it and say like, okay, credits rolls, you're done, because that would mean, like, say you and me want to play together. Oh, that's loud. You and me want to play together, and I'm further ahead, and then I reach the ending, and then I saw the credits, and then you call me, it's like, hey, let's play that island together. It's like, oh, dude, I'm done. We don't want that. We want to keep players together, and we're gonna have narrative, embedded in the world, but there is no classical, this is the start, and this is the ending, and now big reveal, and now credits roll, and it's over.
So yeah, it's very much in the whole blood of the game, I suppose. That is about having fun.
Yes.
It's all about
Yes.
Yeah, from the gameplay point of view, the important part is the seamless co-op. That's why we designed the quest and narrative structure fitting to the seamless co-op structure. There's no classical multiplayer PvP mode or stuff like that anymore. You just start a game, click play, and then you're automatically on a server with other players around you, like a very small MMO. And then you can just start, walk, and do a first event or do a first quest, and then you pass by a gas station or so, and then there is another guy at the gas station. You can say, hey, I greet him, or I start playing with him, or I turn around and do my own stuff. It's all up to you. And this co-op is so important. That's why everything has to fit to suit this kind of playstyle.
Do
the number of zombies scale depending on how many people are playing, or
we have a dynamic difficulty and dynamic spawning system, so to speak. So a little bit like an AI director if you want. So basically, yes, if there's more people at a certain area, then there will be more zombies, and they will be adjusted to the levels of the players.
The better they're doing, the stronger they'll be on the board.
So we actually try to like do everything to keep people playing together. To say, even if I played the game for a long time and I'm a high level player and you just started the game, we should be able to play the game together. There's certain things where I probably need to support you and show like, hey, this works like this, and achieving difficulty more through certain gameplay aspects. You played the game, you played the demo, right? So that bar that you just played, that was an easy hub, for example. That was an easy defense scenario. There will be much harder defense scenarios where you actually need to think about like, okay, how do we do that? There's like a lot coming, and they're coming from different sides, and like, maybe I put a trap here, or maybe I prepare a little ultimate trap somewhere. So it's like that. So more about like also giving players tactical choices to do these things.
Touching upon what you were saying earlier about making a seamless multiplayer world, what was the experience like for someone who doesn't have access to online? So they don't have gold or they don't have PSN?
Yeah, I mean they can, if you want, you can opt out, right? And you can block the cable, and you can go into offline mode. But the game is meant to be played together. It will not stop working. You can play it alone, but there's a huge part that actually comes from meeting other people, meeting up and doing that. If that makes sense.
Is it will be access like couch co-op as well, or split screen, or?
No, it won't. And we would love to, but it's really hard nowadays. If you want to have outstanding art and outstanding graphics, rendering that twice, which you would need to.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful game.
Thank you.
I think it's praised. From playing the original, what about that did you see and think, we could make that better, we could do that better?
One example that comes to my mind, again, it was like taking the multiplayer as the main focus. One thing that happened often when we played together in the team, so we played and we started zombies and we had lots of fun, the first game that is, and then I find this awesome weapon blueprint and I say like, oh, I really want that. So you guys wait here, I go find a workbench and then I craft my weapon and then I'm back. So we thought, how can we improve this? So now you can actually craft your weapons on the spot. It's not like in the demo where it happens automatically. You still need to go into a menu and basically go like, okay, this part with that part and shockbot and ready is the electrified shotgun. And then, but yeah, that you would be allowed to do that while still with your buddies, and you don't have to go away. And at the same time, since it's because of the multiplayer nature, since I could be attacked while crafting my weapon, that means I have to ask you, hey, can you watch my back while I craft my weapon? So it's a short thing, it goes rather quickly, but it actually turns into like this interesting interactions between players, you know, and away from something that feels more single player centric. So that's, I think, is something we definitely improved.
So does that come through mostly just internal testing doing now? You had external feedback or community feedback even?
No, we are both. I mean, what we did is we actually looked at what players loved about the first game. And if you go on, it's crazy how active the community still is. It's like you can still open up the first game, which now is like 3 years old, right? And you find other players all the time. There will be players joining your game all the time. It's crazy. And but when
that's all the reason why we focus so much on co-op. Because everyone, even the players playing now, you can just start a game and someone is dropping in a game always, and everything needs to fit the co-op.
So when you check out Twitch or YouTube and look at what people are actually posting, that is what they do. That is what they post about the game. They show the funniest zombie kill of the week, how to lure zombies into an area, how they did that with their body, how to do the crazy stuff. And that is exactly what we want players to do. We want to give them here's the sandbox, here's the ingredients, here's the tools, here's lots of zombies, have fun.
Yeah, that's nice. Good idea. Is that how, with the community, is that how you came up with a different class system as well for characters, or is that again something you already had in mind to do?
Yeah, I mean both. What we felt that the classes need to be a little bit more distinctive from the old one, if you know, like that they should play and feel different, and they actually should make sense in a group. So basically, and I mean there are recipes for that. You know, there are games that are doing that for a long time, and they figured it out really well. So the Berserk is our tank. Right, he can go in, he can take lots of damage, he can actually lure the zombies to it, he can be in a crowd, it's like, let's keep them coming. And then the Speeder is our melee damage dealer. She's really fast and she can like take them out individually really quickly, so basically they can work together very well. And then we have the Bishop, who is our support guy, who actually, you know, he can do area of effect stuff, both damaging zombies and actually helping other players. And then we have a range damage dealer that ties into that combination kind of nicely, which is the Hunter.
What was the decision at E3 to keep the gameplay footage away from the show? I'm assuming, I don't know personally, but maybe press might have behind closed door stuff, but the public only ever saw the trailer.
Oh, honestly, it was old. It was.
Yeah,
it was. It
was
from 2013, and we knew that the game would look much better than that, and we wanted to show something, so you don't go away like, okay, does this game even exist? Because it's like, actually, it does exist, and we are doing something, but we didn't want to give that into the public, you know, like, because you see how it looks now, and we knew we would achieve that within a very short amount of time, but it wasn't just there yet. So that's why.
That's why we even choose to show something really authentic right now, which is just from the actual build. And we didn't want to like spend months to make a fake build just to show something very early. And I think it was a good decision.
Because I mean, you've seen the gameplay trailer, right? That is how the game looks. There's no difference. Like, so for all of you who can't play the demo, poor guys, watch the gameplay trailer. That is how the game looks and plays.
Yeah, it's true. Because I mean, one of the falling points in the original was the fact that the trailer looks so vastly different to the actual finished product.
Yes, and we wanted to avoid that conflict. You know.
That makes sense. So finally, to round it off, obviously Spec Ops: The Line was a really big title for Yager in terms of its reputation and its storytelling narrative. Did almost having that in your catalogue bring a lot of pressure onto you when people found out you were behind doing Dead Island 2?
Yeah, I mean, people are surprised at first. At the same time, when I explain them why and how, and like that is actually that it's even important for our reputation to, if we do story, we do story. Full-blown story. Like Spec Ops: The Line. I think the game shipped now long enough to reveal that. We had a co-op mode in the very, very early stage of the game. We did have co-op in Spec Ops. And we cut that at one point because it said it wouldn't work with the story. And we decided to no, this game is about a story and a plot and the story we want to tell. And Dead Island, the game is about multiplayer. It's about fun, having fun with your buddies. So we do that right. We want to do stuff, not shoehorn stuff in that doesn't fit, but doing things right.
So what would you said you would learn from that comes across Dead Island, other than what you said about co-op multiplayer? Like, from the sort of storytelling side, even if it's a story, how you unveil things in the game, how do you reveal stuff to people playing Dead Island 2?
It's incredibly interesting because it's basically no one really has figured it out yet how to tell, how to make a good dynamic narrative. I mean, there are some good examples, but there's not too many, especially in multiplayer, because there's even more important. So you don't have to be dynamic and not using the normal storyteller approach of there's your start and there's your end. To be honest, we are still in the process of figuring out how exactly we are. I think we're on a good track. We have some really good ideas and concepts and rules that we want to follow, but I can't reveal it quite yet how it exactly works because we might change stuff on the way.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you for coming. It was a nice interview.